Here comes the best in the world, the story of Shane McMahon, and the story of the trophy. And welcome back, guys. And again, this is Mikeratto, and we're going to discuss the storyline behind it, the everything that surrounds it, from Shane McMahon being a babyface, turning heel, and his storylines going forward. So, I hope you all support this channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, and also support me on Patreon, which is actually on my channel description, on the video descriptions, and also it is on the community tab, which is described for all of you. And there's also packages that you can actually support the channel there, which you can get a shout out. well you will have a special video, something like that. I hope you all support me then. Here comes the video. In 2018, WWE actually produced the Crown Jewel pay-per-view, which in this time, there's a tournament going on with a lot of wrestlers from Raw and SmackDown, or should I say sport entertainers, who's been fighting for this trophy. Eliminations after elimination, storyline after storyline, with left and right, with a lot of wrestlers fighting. The real, during the finals, which is Dolph Ziggler versus The Miz, Miz was quote unquote injured to actually further the storyline. During his injury, Shane McMahon replaced him, and he's the one who won the entire tournament. Though it is also stated on an episode of SmackDown that if SmackDown loses the cup or the World Cup or whatever they call it, the Best in the World trophy, whoever is in the finals will be fired. After that revelation of the firing, and Shane McMahon winning the tournament with him being the last participant, he's just a replacement, while the storyline now progresses with Miz actually targeting Shane McMahon as his tag team partner, discussing about his dad, while his dad not fully supporting him because while he does the ways as a heel, he wants to be a tag team champion during this time because he wants his dad's approval, something like that. And this is a slow turning face type of thing for the Miz, which as also same in 2013-ish of the Miz, it doesn't that much work for him because he is more better as a heel. But after that, these two actually, while they are tag teaming, while they won the titles in the Royal Rumble, it's just for their build up of the match, which actually, Shane McMahon was the one who turned heel. On the books, people are saying don't trust a McMahon when you're in a tag team or in an alliance or something like that. It was shown on history that you will not trust a McMahon on WWE storylines. So and then he turned heel. He targeted Miz's father. This actually started their rivalry, and then they had this feud on WrestleMania and on the next pay-per-view, which both Shane McMahon actually won. And during this face turn, the Miz, while he was fighting Shane, he was actually talking about his dad, everything towards that, and Shane McMahon brutally assaulting his dad. And this is the time that WWE actually capitalizing on Shane McMahon's heel turn, and he was, I think, paired with Elias and Drew McIntyre later on. And they feuded also with Roman Reigns after The Miz. And also during his feud with The Miz, while Roman Reigns is slowly getting inserted in their storyline because Drew McIntyre is actually also on Shane McMahon's allies. And Shane McMahon, Elias, Drew McIntyre, they were allies. And the storyline were mixed, and they were actually on segments on Raw or SmackDown, which the two actually, well, they are teaming up for Miz and Roman Reigns. And as for Shane McMahon's group, well, they are continuing their storyline with these two. Which later on, well, Miz loses to Shane McMahon twice, and then, well, Roman Reigns feuded still with Shane McMahon, and also The Undertaker returned after, well, his performance with, well, on Crown Jewel, he returned, and everything towards that. Well, it's unusual to see Undertaker not compete at WrestleMania, especially while during the time that he is still competing. And well, in the time while Undertaker competed in Extreme Rules, tag teaming with Roman Reigns, the one who actually defeated him at WrestleMania 33. And yeah, Roman Reigns still continued his feud with Shane and Drew McIntyre, and the tag team match happened with, well, Roman and Taker winning. And then, well, after that, well, yeah. And well, after that storyline, well, Kevin Owens, well, he feuded again with Shane McMahon. This time, well, they reversed their roles on their first feud, with Shane McMahon acting as the heel and Kevin Owens acting as the babyface in the said story. Because remember, they also feud in 2017 up to 2018 with the roles reversed, Shane as the face, Kevin as the heel. With Kevin Owens coming off from his feud with Kofi Kingston attacking Shane McMahon during his town hall, something like that. And then when this feud started, well, it's more of personal things. Shane McMahon using his powers, actually punishing Kevin Owens with a fine, everything towards that, even threatening his job, and that, which actually led to match between these two, with Kevin Owens winning, and then yeah, Shane McMahon being angry, using again his powers, which actually culminated in a ladder match. Well, yeah, and then Kevin winning it, and then Shane McMahon was off on television. And well, after that, well, Shane McMahon appeared on Raw after his feud then. And then, well, he actually made this Raw Underground thing, which actually lasted for only a few weeks, which, well, I'm not sure why it is actually cancelled or why it is not showing on television anyway. But yeah, they actually promoted it as like a underground type of thing, which they were actually like, they look like wrestling but somehow a street fight wrestling or street fight, which, well, it's a different format from the usual wrestling stuff, because, well, it has, well, it look like UFC but not like UFC, you know what I mean? It's like MMA but not really MMA on that fight. I'm not sure how to call it, but yeah, they promoted this Raw Underground thing, and well, it was cancelled before it actually had a huge impact afterwards. And well, yeah, the Hurt Business appeared, Braun appeared, Kevin Owens I think also appeared, and a lot of guys also from the main roster appeared there, even the Iconics who was beaten up by the women there. And yeah, after the Raw Underground stint, and while they didn't had that much impact back then, well, yeah, Shane McMahon returned in 2021 to feud with Braun Strowman. It actually started when Braun was demanding for a title match, a WWE title match. But the problem within that is, well, he's not a former WWE champion and he was a former Universal champion. Everyone in the chamber match was a former WWE champion. You have to think about that, and yeah, that's the stipulation there. And well, also in that build up, well, Shane McMahon is questioning Braun Strowman's IQ, so on and so forth for their feud, which actually ended at WrestleMania with Braun defeating Shane. So yeah, this is the entire run of his heel run. I actually covered everything from, well, 2018 up to 2021, starting from the crown jewel victory up to his latest feud and his latest stint on the WWE. I hope you all like it. Like, comment on below, share, subscribe. And again, this is Mikeratto and peace. And I hope you all like this video. Support my Patreon. Look at in the community tab or in the video description down below.